everyone, welcome back. I'm Chef Portia and welcome back to my Farmer's Market Live. So today I'm going to work on some cauliflower steaks and a yogurt tahini sauce. So if you saw that picture yesterday, a little video of when I was at the Farmer's Market, I picked up that nice cauliflower. We're going to turn these into steaks that I'm going to grill. I'm going to season them, grill them. Then I also got some green onion while I was at the Farmer's Market, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that too. So let's get started. So I already cut it into it, but this is that cauliflower. So what I want to do is I kind of trimmed some, I'm going to trim some more of these little leaves away. You can use your hands or your knife, either way. But I want to cut down because I wanted this to hold together really nicely. So I'm going to create a nice cauliflower steak. There we go. So you see here, it's holding together nicely. And let's see, we might be able to get one more. Oh, it's starting to fall apart, so that's okay. Maybe one more. Let's see, maybe a smaller one. All right, there we go. I already got one out of there. So this one's I can piece it together. So when you put it on a plate, it'll look nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a little seasoning blend. So I have on this little plate here, I have some smoked paprika. So I love smoked paprika. Cumin, I always use if a recipe ever calls for cumin, I'm going to add some smoked paprika to that too. I have some garlic powder, some onion powder, a little bit of cinnamon, some lemon pepper, and some turmeric. So this is going to kind of mimic like a shawarma actually. So I'm going to put all that in a little bowl. And it's going to be my seasoning mix. I'm going to season that with a little lemon pepper. I'm going to add some salt to this too. There we go. Get all that in there. So here's that seasoning mix. I'm going to add a little salt to this. And then I have a grill pan here also heating up. All right, so now I'm going to get this out of the way. All those little pieces, a little bit later, I'm going to grill. I just want to show you on this one piece for now. Okay, so I got that little seasoning mix. I'm going to mix that up. Some salt, again, smoked paprika, tiny bit of cinnamon, not a ton, the turmeric, let's see, the cumin, and then I'm going to have some olive oil here. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my plate. Make sure get that steak is now going to be coated in the oil and then also in the seasoning. There we go. So oil and seasoning. And we've got our grill pan on about medium low. I don't want it to be too high because I don't want this to burn. I want it to cook through. It's pretty tough, you know. And I want to make sure that that cooks and it doesn't burn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place that on. Got a little bit of sear there, a little sizzle, but not too much. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. So this is probably gonna take about 10 minutes or so per side. So that's what you're looking for, and that's gonna help it to get nice and tender. All right, let's clean that off. Okay, so now, and here I have some, I'm gonna start with some yogurt for our yogurt tahini sauce. I have some yogurt. I'm also gonna add some, of course, tahini. Good. So this has been sitting out just to warm that up a little bit because it can, sometimes you'll have like the oils separating from your tahini. Some of your sesame paste, tahini. Okay, so I'm going to add a nice spoonful of that. And it's cool to get a little of the oil in there because that's even more flavor. So a little like sesame oil in with that. Okay, so I'm going to add some lemon. So I'm going to add some lemon juice, but what's really good is if you're going to use lemon juice, let's go ahead and get the zest in there too. The way I like to use my microplane is I like to hold my fruit in my hand when I'm going to zest like this. And I'm just going to pull across the top and move. So I'm going to zest and move, zest and move, zest and move. This way everything stays in here instead of it flying all over my board. I'm just going to zest and move, zest and move. So you just want to go across once. Just give one good scrape because then if you get down to the white, to the pith, and that's bitter. So I don't want any of that in there. Zest and move. So if you're going to add lemon juice, my tip is go ahead and get the zest in there too. All right, so lemon, zest. So if you're doing limes, same thing. Oranges, grapefruits, whatever you're doing. Whatever your citrus fruit is. So there we go. So all of it stays right there, and then go tap, tap, tap right into the bowl. And if you need to scrape any out, you can do that too. All right, I'm gonna get some lemon juice in there. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. And then the way I do is I fold it like this, squeeze so that if there are any seeds, they'll just stay in there. You could also use a lemon juicer, squeezer, or a reamer, any of those. That'll work too. Okay, so we got that. Then I'm gonna get some garlic in there. So I have garlic clove. You can smash it, press it, whatever. I am gonna go ahead and get rid of that little end piece. And I'm gonna mince this. My towel here, clean as I go. All right, so I'm just gonna slice this, you can see. And then I'm gonna slice a little more, bring it all together, and then mince. So placing my hand on top, just kind of going around in a little half moon, half circle. There we go. So I want this pretty tiny, because this is going to stay raw. So this is going to be pretty sharp when you eat it. So I want it to be really small. So those flavors really dissipate in there. You don't bite into a big raw piece of garlic. Alright, so minced garlic. It's getting smaller and smaller. Exactly what you want. So it's going to fly all over. Bring it together. That's what you want to do. Alright. Keep mincing. Okay, there we go. So we're getting there. You can also paste it. You're familiar with that technique. I'm just going to mince it today. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty tiny, so I think we're about there. Alright, so we get all that in there. So garlic, yogurt, tahini, lemon juice, lemon zest, half of a lemon. I'm also going to add some green onions. So this is what I also picked up at the farmer's market. So I'm going to get rid of that end. I'm going to save the whites for something else, but because this is also going to be raw, I'm going to just use the green. So I'm just going to slide down. There we go. So you have nice little pieces as I mince this. So I'm just going through, getting little teeny tiny pieces of that green onion. So this is kind of like the more herby part, whereas the white part has a really sharp onion flavor. But we have all that garlic in there, so let's not kill you with all the really sharp flavors. Okay, so there's that. This is a little tinier. Okay, great. So add a little bit of salt and some pepper. So salt and some pepper. And we're going to whisk all that together. There you go. Let's get that tahini mixed in there. There we go. So that's looking really good. See that? See that, guys? All right. So let's see. Let's give this a little taste. See if I need a little bit more. Oh, here we go. A little more salt or pepper, a little tiny bit more salt, but we're almost there. If you don't have yogurt, you could use sour cream too. And then the longer this sits, the better it gets too. Okay. So there we go. So our yogurt tahini sauce. Again, yogurt, tahini, lemon juice, lemon zest, a nice amount of garlic, some green onion, salt, and pepper. All right, so this was one of the cauliflower steaks I did earlier. Like I said, I'm doing it in the grill pan. It's going to take about 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to just give myself like a nice little dollop of that on the side. Use my whisk, why not? And here we go. So, cauliflower steak in shawarma seasoning with a yogurt tahini sauce. Did that try? Really good. It's nicely spiced with all the spices that are on the cauliflower. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I will see you next week for the next Farmers Market Live. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy.